first place. AFC North, Baltimore leading 7-0 as we start the second half. You can keep your head in the game with NFL Mobile, only from Verizon, the official wireless service provider of the National Football League. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Andrea Kramer, M&T Bank Stadium, downtown Baltimore on this 34-degree Sunday night. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, who won the toss and deferred, will get the second half kickoff as Billy Cundiff will send it down to the rookie Antonio Brown.
Al, doesn't it feel like the Steelers could run the ball a little more than what they are? I mean, they're having trouble in their pass blocking, but they have had success running the ball tonight as opposed to the Ravens, who have had no success running the ball.
Mendenhall, you're right, has carried 8 times for 27, and Redmond 2 for 12, and Cundiff with another touchback. He's on his way to setting a record for touchbacks. Meanwhile, let's go down to the sideline and check in with Andrea Kramer. Andrea.
Well, Al, Mike Tomlin acknowledged his offense isn't playing well. He said no major adjustments. The main thing they have to do is catch balls on third down. Now, when the team just came out for the second half, Tomlin walked over to the offensive line. He was exhorting them to do better. As for the punting situation, he thought Sweezum would continue to punt, but he expected Daniel Sepulveda to hold for place kicks.
So Sweezum punted at the end of the first half. Meanwhile, for the Ravens on their side, Derek Mason came out of the game, and the Ravens are telling us nothing about his condition. And Todd Heap, of course, is out of the game after the first play of the game, the tight end. On first down, they give it to Mendenhall. He's out to the 25-yard line. It'll be second down and 5.
Well, the first half really dominated by the Ravens defense and their studs. Ray Lewis was fantastic. Terrell Suggs, completely dominant. And Haloti Ngata with a big hello to Ben Roethlisberger there.
The big Haloti.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I didn't say that, did I?
The one person we haven't heard that much from so far, though, is Ed Reed. And if Ben wants to start taking some shots and gets impatient, we probably will.
After 50 career interceptions, they swing it out. And this is Mendenhall making the catch. Tackled by Gooden. Remember, the game starts, and the big storyline is Ben Roethlisberger in the walking boot all week. The specially designed shoe. That shoe is 1.5 sizes larger than it would normally be. And the bloody nose on the first series, and yet here he is, 10 out of 20 for 101 yards. And he's been lining up in this formation, known as the pistol in college football, a short shotgun. He's done it about 10 times tonight. And over the middle, that pass is caught up at the 47-yard line, and finally Hines Ward makes a catch. His first catch of the night. He's covered downfield by Ray Lewis.
Well, there's Hines Ward making a catch, and one of the reasons why they've been sacrificing Heath Miller right over here to help against Terrell Suggs. Well, Suggs says, fine, you're going to help on me. I'm just going to make sure you don't get down in the route, so eliminate him. But this time, the catch was made.
From the 47 on first down. Quick flip. Wallace gets by Landry. And Wallace to the 29-yard line. So the speedy one makes the catch and then is able to take off and goes downfield for 23 yards.
What a great read that time by Roethlisberger. Look what happens here. They're going to come up like this. So there's nothing going on. Landry, I think, was trying to play games and make it look like a blitz. But here's Mike Wallace, one of the great big play receivers in the game today. Whew, he is quick.
From the 30-yard line, back to the ground to Mendenhall. And the defense stopping with the line of scrimmage. Jameel McLean in on the tackle.
Well, they just can't handle Terrell Suggs. I mean, they've got everything else going. Watch it here on the outside. Jonathan Scott's a pretty quick player, but basically Suggs just takes Jonathan Scott and throws him right into the running back. Marquise Pouncey, the center, is going to come off, and he had Ray Lewis, so they had a decent-looking play going. They just couldn't block Suggs.
2nd and 10. Mendenhall over the left side this time, taken down hard at the 27-yard line. The Steelers, interestingly, this season in the third quarter total, they've scored 16 points. In 11 games, they have one third-quarter touchdown that came against Cleveland. The Ravens, meanwhile, have allowed only 12 third-quarter points.
Look at all the stuff on the left-hand side, but Terrell Suggs goes to the weak side of the formation. So no matter how hard the Steelers are trying to block him, he keeps going to the weak side, and they don't have blockers on that side, so he ends up in those one-on-ones.
Time defense for the Ravens on 3rd down and 7. Blitz, here they come. Roethlisberger hangs in there, and the pass is incomplete. The rookie Sanders can't make the catch. Wilson with the coverage. It'll be 4th down and 7 at the 27-yard line. Here comes the field goal unit. Sepulveda will do the holding now at the 35-yard line. So a 45-yard attempt for Sweezum, signed 3 weeks ago to replace Jeff Reed, and he kicked 4 from 40-plus last week to beat Buffalo. And now Sepulveda is going to take a timeout.
Oh, boy.
Charge timeout, Pittsburgh, 30-second timeout.
Pretty interesting. His timeouts in the second half were golden.
Yeah, and I tell you, that play was set up, and the reason they're having to try this field goal, basically another 3rd down drop by the receivers. We have seen that plenty so far in this game, and when you're playing a defense like the Ravens and your quarterback is bloodied and trying to fight his way through it, it's not good.
Well, whatever Tomlin's, so Tomlin's the guy who calls the timeout.
I would guess it had to be the clock.
Either that or he didn't have 11 guys on the field. .45-yard attempt. And Sweezum is good.
Really good.
Yeah, his Pittsburgh career is off to a big start. Steelers on the board, 7-3. Ravens. James Harrison has been in the crosshairs, of course, with the implementation of the rules and the fines in Harrison, $125,000. James Farrier came out in support of him. A lot of you read about the remarks made by Hines Ward. And when you make the cover of Sports Illustrated, that's the $75,000 fine, and he was fined $5,000 for that hit on Vince Young. And here's the one in Cleveland that wound up on the cover of SI. And then that one against Drew Brees in the Sunday Nighter in New Orleans last week. Ryan Fitzpatrick goes down, and there's your $1.25.
Went fast, didn't it?
Yes.
Those guys are not happy about it.
Kickoff fielded at the 10-yard line by David Reed. And Reed gets it back out to the 34-yard line.
And Al, I think part of the frustration on the part of the Steelers is, what is a foul these days? Watch these two hits. This one first on Jason Campbell. Looks a lot like that one on Ryan Fitzpatrick. The one on Jason Campbell, that should not have been a foul. James Harrison tried to slide his helmet past Jason Campbell. This one's textbook. Any part of the helmet that hits any part of a defenseless player is a foul in this league, and they are going to find it.
There's Flacco on 1st down, and the pass is incomplete. And the crowd wants a flag. McFadden covering Bolden on the play. No penalty.
Oh, going back again, right where they left off to Brian McFadden, and this is a good read, one-on-one. This time Anquan Bolden really just kind of took off, really didn't set up Brian McFadden very well on that one. I thought it was clean.
You know, there's a lot of confusion and some mystery as to exactly what will get you fined these days. 2nd and 10. Some are obvious, some not so obvious. Here's Rice, and he's going to cut it back, and Rice gets taken down by Polamalu, but not until he picks up a 1st down. You know, Chris, in a way, I'm not simplifying this, but if you lead with your helmet, there's a good chance you're going to get fined.
A defenseless player, defenseless receiver, defenseless quarterback. If that helmet strikes the defenseless player, it's a foul. It doesn't matter if he hits him in the thigh. If he's a defenseless player, it's a foul.
1st and 10, the ball's at the 45. An Art play fake, avoids a sack, gets it away as he gets hit as he throws, and that was James Harrison coming in and making contact as Flacco got it off. 2nd down to 10.
I'll tell you what, they are asking a lot of Ed Dickson, a rookie tight end, trying to block James Harrison on the outside. It's just, you don't want to make your living doing this. I thought he might have even held him there. Got just enough of a push. I wouldn't push my luck too much with that blocking combination.
Derek Mason is now back in the game. He was shaken up in the first half. Flacco on 2nd and 10. And that pass is incomplete with coverage by Taylor that time. Working on Ed Dickson. 3rd down and 10.
To me, that's a really strange throw. I mean, ordinarily, if you get Dickson or a tight end out there and they flank Ryan Clark or a safety, you go, okay, yeah, I'm going to take my shot here. You go out there against the best cover guy that the Steelers have, and Ike Taylor, you go somewhere else. There's just no reason to go here.
When they went 3-by-1 with the 3 big guys on the right side, figured they'd sneak one to the left side.
I think Dickson was as surprised as anybody.
Not against Ike Taylor from Swaggin. 3rd and 10. And that is caught by Mason. And again, they go to work on McFadden with success.
When you talk to Mike Tomlin, he said if the Ravens have big drives, they'll have at least one 20-yard throw, typically to Derek Mason down the field. Again, working against McFadden. Pretty throw. And James Harrison this time from the stand-up position took Marshall Yanda and just drove him into the ground. But Yanda provided enough time to get it off.
1st down, 39. Rice with 3 yards to the 36-yard line. Hoke makes the stop.
You can see that the Ravens, and I think justifiably so now, are going to try and establish a run that they could not establish in the first half. And you say, wow, you're playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's the best run defense in all the NFL. Well, the reason you do it is so that you can go to the play action that Joe Flacco has been using so effectively this year.
2nd and 7. Short drop, quick throw. Houshmandzadeh should have a 1st down. Tackled to the 28-yard line.
Ray Rice is doing a fantastic job with this. Look at the defense. Not a single guy with his hand on the ground. And so now Ray Rice has to try and figure out who the free rusher is. There he is. Lawrence Timmons. Pick him up. Beautiful.
Get to the line in a hurry, do the Ravens. And Rice takes the ball to the 25-yard line. Rice tonight as a runner, 6 attempts, 23 yards.
And remember, Ray Rice was available in the first Pittsburgh game, but he was a non-factor. But he's also the last guy that's rushed for over 100 yards against the Steelers in the last 45 games.
214 for Baltimore, 167 total yardage for Pittsburgh. 2nd down and 7. Flacco breaking away. He's going to run. 1st down inside the 15, flag down. Taken down to the 10-yard line. Flag on the near side of the field, away from the play.
Illegal contact. Defense number 24. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. 1st down.
Ike Taylor on the other side of the field. 1st down.
Ike Taylor well down the field working against T.J. Houshmandzadeh. There it is, the shot to the face, and it was down the field. But I tell you, Joe Flacco's mobility tonight has been the difference. Who would have believed in a game between Ben Roethlisberger and Joe Flacco that would have been the mobility of Flacco that really has been the deciding factor?
He is really coming of age.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
1st and goal, the ball is at the 6-yard line. And Flacco throwing that fade, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Bolden. Polamalu blitzing on the play. 2nd and goal.
And that time Ray Rice either went the wrong way or just didn't see it. Nice job by Flacco. Just get it out of there. Troy Polamalu coming off this edge right here is going to come in unblocked. And Flacco sees it just in time to throw it away.
Second and goal. Ravens spread it out. And Flacco throws a fade to the other corner of the end zone and incomplete. Intended for the rookie Dixon, covered by the safety Ryan Clark. Third and goal.
Yeah, but this is the one you do take the shots. You've got the safety Ryan Clark out there. The problem is that, like a lot of young receivers, Dixon doesn't squeeze it inside enough. So really Flacco has very little ground on the outside of the end zone to try and get that one in there. Big tight end, go in there and just blow up Ryan Clark and then do a little fade, and you'll have a lot of green grass or whatever that stuff is out there.
Ursa Express. Third and goal. And Flacco in trouble. Avoiding the sack and dumps it off, and it's incomplete. So he's able to avoid a vice. Woodley and Brett Kiesel seem to have him corralled, and that's going to set up a short field goal attempt.
And Lamar Woodley coming right around the edge here. Again, a tight end and a back trying to block one of the premier pass rushers in the game. But we have seen so far what the Ravens' plan has been is they are trying to take away James Harrison, and they're taking some chances with Lamar Woodley.
Billy Cundiff signed a year ago, and he won the game in overtime here between these two teams. 24-yard attempt. Cook the hole. And the lead goes back to 7. With 7:13 remaining in the third quarter. Baltimore 10. Pittsburgh 3. The Philly-Dallas rivalry. Any of the matchups in the NFC East. And look at Cundiff. I'll tell you what, if everybody in the league was Billy Cundiff, they'd move the kickoff back to the 20-yard line. He's been tremendous. First place in the AFC North. Winner going to a mark of 9-3. Pittsburgh from the 20-yard line now. Roethlisberger hits the tight end Miller. That's a gain of 9 yards taken down by Carr, setting up a 2nd down and 1.
It's like they're going a little hurry up now too. And really, Al, the difference in this game to me so far has been the 2 drops on 3rd down. In a 1-touchdown game, those plays make a huge difference.
The missed opportunities, they're down by 7. 2nd down and 1 from the 29-yard line. Rashard Mendenhall tries to go to his left, and that's a loss of 3 yards. Jared Johnson, the linebackers, stopping him. 3rd down and 3.
I tell you, I talked to Greg Madison, and he said, I think if you took a vote of our players, they may well tell you that Jared Johnson is the MVP of this defense. Look how disciplined he is. Rashard Mendenhall is one of the fastest backs in the league. He just holds his ground, completely under control, made a huge stop earlier. He's playing a big game.
8th year in the league. One of the reasons he doesn't get that notice, you're a linebacker on the same team with Lewis and Suggs. Moelde Moore is the back on 3rd and 3. And Ben Johnson loses the ball. It's loose, and picking it up and saving it at the 11-yard line is Chris Kimoyaku, and he brings it back out to the 20-yard line. And he takes a shot. It was Suggs who came in and creates the sack, and Roethlisberger.
Holding defense number 43.
Whoa.
5-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
Haruki Nakamura.
Oh, boy, you just cannot grab the jersey. Watch and see if he doesn't grab. There you go. And The thing that I think young defenders sometimes forget is there's official watching every eligible receiver. And I wish somebody were watching Terrell Suggs because he is killing the Pittsburgh Steelers. King Watu looked like a big old fullback, but he took a shot like one too.
And Nakamura, 5'10", 195, doing everything he could to stop the 6'5", 256-pound Miller. First and 10 at the 33-yard line. Three-man rush. Dump off to Mendenhall. And Mendenhall breaking tackles and gets 9. Broke away from Jared Johnson. Stopped just short of the 43-yard line.
Well, Ben standing in the pocket tall. Ordinarily on a play like this, you might see him take off, but he just dumps it off to Mendenhall. I tell you, Mendenhall is coming off of one of the best games I've seen him have against Buffalo. A career high, a lifetime high carries, 36 in that game. You wondered how he bounced back, but he's been good here tonight.
2nd and 1, Mendenhall. And fights his way for a first down at the 46-yard line. Landry comes up to make the tackle with 4:40 left in the quarter.
Ben Roethlisberger's footwork is starting to look better. I don't know if it's loosening up a little bit or what, but that kind of looked like a normal drop back to me. So maybe we can see some of the old Ben Roethlisberger now.
46-yard line. First down. Again, rushing only 3. And that pass is caught across the 50-yard line by the rookie Sanders. He's tackled by Josh Wilson.
Well, the Steelers that time go to the empty backfield. Are going to spread out some of these big guys that they're having trouble blocking. And that was the ball that Sanders had dropped earlier on 3rd down. This time he made the play.
Steelers going up tempo, and it's a good drive to this point. 2nd and 1. Mendenhall again, and this time he'll get stuffed by Lewis. Ray Lewis. Greg Mattison, the defensive coordinator. I mean, it's as good a compliment as anybody can get. I mean, we all know about Lewis. He's going to go into the Hall of Fame. He said he watches film like a coach and he listens like a rookie.
And he hits like a tank.
Right.
Yeah.
He's only done it for 15 seasons. 3rd and 1. Redmond is in the backfield. Give it to him. Stopped in his tracks. 4th down. DeJuan Landry came barreling through.
Cannot block Terrell Suggs.
And now they're going to go quick on 4th down. Roethlisberger is going to line them up before any switches can be made defensively. And Ben's going to say, I got them to jump offside. Corey Redding came across the line. Terry McCaldy to give us the call.
Unbelievable.
Who moved first, Adams or Redding?
Neutral zone infraction. Defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Redding.
Everything was a bit unsettled. I think that I couldn't tell, did the ball come out on that last play? It's almost like they were going to the hurry up to try and cover up something or catch them without being able to substitute. I'm not sure, but whatever it was, it worked big.
It worked big time. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. And now Ben with a deep drop, buying time, extending the play as he has been doing for years, and that pass is incomplete, and Miller really takes a shot.
And that's helmet to helmet. You could hear it up here, I think.
Right.
I mean, everybody knows that sound.
And you saw the Ravens waving immediately to the Pittsburgh bench to get help out there. Miller down. Well, they have kept Miller immobile, and that's the first time he's attempted to move his head, but they've got him down there at the 30-yard line. And we'll back again. It's McClain, the linebacker, who comes in helmet to helmet here.
Well, even if it's not helmet to helmet, it's a defenseless player. Shoulder pad, forearm, or helmet to the head is an automatic penalty. And to get, I didn't see a flag. If there is one, it's buried down there, is unbelievable to me that was not called. That is by the very definition of what I've been told, defenseless player, either the helmet, the shoulder pad, or the forearm to the head. That is a foul, and that's the second one tonight that has not been called on the Baltimore Ravens. And I'm sure the Steelers fans are going, what the heck?
And that's great, because when the guy's down as long as Miller was, and then to be able to get up and walk off under his own power, Pittsburgh tight end heads over to the bench. And again, you're right, Chris, but it's one of those things where the receiver starts to duck down. The guy's coming in, the defender. And you're gonna have situations like that. I mean, no matter what the rules are.
Tell that to James Harrison and his $125,000 worth of fines.
I'm with you on that.
That's amazing that was not called.
Matt Spaeth, another tight end, is inactive tonight. So they're down to David Johnson, and they line him up in the backfield and then send him into the slot on 2nd down and 10. And the pass is caught out of the flat by Antonio Brown. And they run Brown out at about the 29-yard line. And that's a first down, 11-yard gain.
You know, Antonio Brown is basically getting his chance because he's a kick returner, and they thought that Emmanuel Sanders had kind of gotten a little weary of that role. So they made the switch, and he's made a few plays for them.
Roethlisberger right now 16 of 28 for 175 yards. This drive where they picked up the tempo. Sees Mendenhall go to the 26, and the two big plays on this drive were the two penalties against the Ravens defense. And for Mendenhall, that puts him up and over 1,000 yards this season.
I'll tell you, Heath Miller is such a huge part of this offense. It is going to be a tough guy to replace, and they're already without Matt Spaeth, the other tight end, so they are down to one tight end, and usually David Johnson's the fullback.
2nd and 7. And you get a full start here.
False start, offense number 73. 5-yard penalty, 2nd out.
Right guard Ramon Foster.
He's been staring into the eyes all night of Lodi Nada.
Key plays on this drive. Early on, there's Nakamura's hold on Miller. There he was grasping the shirt as Roethlisberger went down and fumbled. And then on the 4th and 1, they line up quickly, and they're able to get an encroachment foul. Now it's a tough gain here, tough yard picked up by Mendenhall. Nada.
Wow.
With the tackle, and Flozell Adams is writhing in pain on the ground.
The Steelers can't lose any more offensive linemen. I mean, they are just, they've been through both their starting tackles and now Flozell.
Injury timeout. Oh yeah, crab cakes.
Pounded a few of those.
Baltimore. And there is Adams just getting to the bench. You've got Trey Essex coming in right now. He's going to play right tackle. They are depleted along that front. You've got 5 receivers here on 3rd down and 11. And Ben is able to escape and throw on the run. And making the catch is Sanders at the 2-yard line. You had Nakamura coming in on the blitz, and he couldn't get there. And bad foot and all, Roethlisberger able to slide to his right, extend the play, and that's 28 yards on 3rd and 11.
I think Ben's loosening up. Nakamura made the miss, and let's see whether or not Sanders could have gotten up here. Nobody touched him. I don't think he was out of bounds, and you could see They were trying to basically drag him into the end zone. Antonio Brown was.
That's the end of the quarter. End of 3. Baltimore 10, Pittsburgh 3. Sunday Night Football from Baltimore continues after these messages. To the 4th we go. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Andrea Kramer. The battle for first in the AFC North. And again, bigger for Pittsburgh because if Baltimore were to win, they'd lead by a game, but in effect lead by 2 by virtue of a season sweep. First and goal. The ball is at the 2-yard line as we start the 4th quarter. And the handoff goes to Redmond, and he gets taken back. First guy to get there is Suggs.
And Al, they've got issues here because typically the Pittsburgh Steelers want to run to the right against Flozell Adams or behind Flozell Adams, or they want to go that 3 tight end package. Well, neither of those options are available because of the injuries to Matt Spaeth, to Heath Miller, and Flozell Adams. So this is a tough spot here. Probably have to throw the ball.
Second and goal. Wallace to the left. Ward. Slot right. And instead they're going to run it. And Mendenhall goes nowhere. And once again, that Suggs has made 2 big stops. 3rd down and goal now.
Can't block him. You just can't do it. They've tried. They've tried with everybody. He has almost single-handedly won this game tonight. He is a nightmare for Ben Roethlisberger right now.
3rd and goal. Quick flip. Wallace stuffed at the 1.5 by Landry. 4th and goal.
They are going to kick the field goal here. This is just, we'll give it a shot. Put your head down. And if Wallace doesn't do that little dance to start with, you never know. He made it to about the 1.5 as it was. I don't know who he's juking there. It's one of those, maybe you put a big old guy like Hines Ward out there and say, Hines, he'll give me 5 yards.
Landry and Fabian Washington stopping him. Squeeze him for a 19-yard field goal attempt. Sepulveda holding. It's a low snap. Sepulveda gets it down, and the kick is just inside the left upright to make it a 4-point game. 10-6. Baltimore, early 4th. Johnny Unitas, the best there ever was. From Pittsburgh, of course, made his mark right here by Chesapeake Bay.
We want to clean up one thing as well. We went back and watched the replay, and Emmanuel Sanders was touched by Ed Reed when Reed was leaping over the top, so he did not have the opportunity to get up and try and run this thing in. And this is sort of what we expected this game, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, and then you have the goal line stand there. That was one of those rare 9.5 minutes, 79 yards, 16-play drives, but they were held to a field goal. Flag is down at the 35-yard line, and for the moment you've got a touchback by Cundiff, and McCauley checking with his crew, but you're going to have an offside here, which is going to take the kickoff back to the 25-yard line.
Offside, kicking team number 84. 5-yard penalty, free kick.
The game again tonight of paramount importance in the division, in the conference. There they are at 8-3. And it's the 43rd game between teams tied for first place in the division final 5 weeks of the season since the merger back in 1970. And the team that won the game won the division 37 times. So we're coming down toward the end of the season, and it would figure. Of course, in Baltimore's case, again, they would have in effect a 2-game lead because of the winning both games. Pittsburgh would have a 1-game lead, and there are more graphical evidence of how tight these teams are in almost every category.
I'll tell you, Al, there is a significant wind blowing at the Steelers' back here for the fourth quarter, and it could have a major impact here. The decision here to let him kick it again, be interesting to see how far he's able to kick this one with this wind.
I was talking about Condon before. Squeeze him with the kickoff for Pittsburgh. And this time the kick is fielded at the 6-yard line by David Reed to the 35-yard line. So Flacco and company coming out. Started to talk about Flacco before. He has an interesting confidence.
Yeah.
Since his third year in the league. And we were talking about the fact that when they turn the ball over, the Ravens defense is not allowed a touchdown this season. And so he feels he can take more chances and open it up a little bit. And now, well, you don't want to open it up that way as Dante Stallworth gets taken down by Lamar Woodley. Little razzle-dazzle, and all the razzle-dazzle belongs to the defense on that one.
You know what? They're just so well coached. Don't go chasing down the line. Play the bootleg, play the reverse. There you go. And now you've got issues for the Baltimore Ravens. You're up against one of the top defenses in the league, and you're sitting there second and about 21 now. You take a chance, you try and create something, but Dick LeBeau's guys don't make silly mistakes.
73 years old. The Hall of Famer Dick LeBeau. Second down at 21. Three-man rush. Dump it off to Rice underneath. He gets it back out to the 35-yard line. And it will be third down and 8 for the Ravens.
The one thing that the Ravens have not been able to do tonight is create one-on-one matchups in the passing game with Ray Rice. If you remember the game we called here last year, one of the deciding plays was a man coverage one-on-one route, and Rice really feels like he can beat either one of these inside backers if presented the opportunity.
Third and 8. Here come the Steelers. Flacco gets it away, and it's tipped by Stallworth and incomplete. Fourth down. So Pittsburgh, after that long drive, they force a 3-and-out and get the ball back.
I tell you, one thing that people don't appreciate about James Harrison is his ability to cover. That time he dropped back. They didn't rush him that time. He got back in coverage, got a hit on Stallworth, and forced the punt.
Kurt Warner appreciates it.
Yeah.
The 100-yard return in the Super Bowl. And that's fielded by Brown at the 17-yard line. Ben and company taking over there. Fourth quarter. Baltimore MD on this first Sunday night of December from the 16-yard line. Steelers down by 4. Begin this drive. On the ground is Mendenhall. Gain of 1. Some key injuries tonight. First play of the game. You had Todd Heap out with a hamstring. Heath Miller, he has a concussion, so he is done for the night. Flozell Adams, we saw him get hurt on the last series. Ankle, questionable. Roethlisberger had the nose on the first series, but been none the worse for wear. The foot's been fine.
I'll tell you, the one they better worry about now is the loss of Flozell Adams.
Second down and 9. Ben underneath drop. Mendenhall. Hey Chris, you were mentioning you couldn't believe that they didn't call a foul on the hit by McLean, the linebacker, on Miller, and here it was. Carl Johnson, the head of officials, has told us within the last few minutes that there should have been a foul called on that play.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which also means that McLean's going to probably get a fine.
Oh, yeah.
Not probably. Third and 9. From the 18-yard line. Roethlisberger pressured, stepping up, throws, and there's a flag down. There's Wallace making the catch, and for the moment, it's a temporary first down.
illegal formation, offense, 6 men on the line of scrimmage, 5-yard penalty, third down.
And that's why it's only temporary.
Well, there must be saying that this tackle is off the line of scrimmage here because you've got here and 5 offensive linemen. So that must be the call. And you could see his helmet was not up to the waistline of the center. Well, that's a tough call in this situation.
Well, again, that's Adams' spot, occupied by Essex.
He's a guard who's not used to being out there and needs all the help he can get.
3rd and 13. Three-man rush, 8 covering, then extending, chased by Suggs, lost one, out of bounds. Good defensive series for the Ravens.
Well, Marquise Pouncey is one of the premier young players in the game, but Haloti Ngata, for my money, is the best defensive tackle in the game. He just took Pouncey and drove him straight back. And on the back end, Ed Reed was sitting and waiting for the interception. Roethlisberger saw him and threw it out of bounds.
They're supposed to hurt. Here comes Sweezum, second punt, and he just does get it away. It's not a thing of beauty, but at least it gets it across the 50-yard line, and it scoots out of bounds at the Baltimore 48. 9:46 left in regulation. 10-6 Baltimore. Baltimore, Maryland. On this Sunday night, 1st and 10 for the Ravens after Sweezum's 39-yard punt. And Rice takes the ball into Pittsburgh territory.
You know, we've talked about it. Excuse me, Al. We talked about a little bit how they're trying to block James Harrison. You see they bring the extra offensive tackle in over here and move a tight end there, which really means that Lamar Woodley should be making even more plays because he has the tight end there. But when he comes up the field, it just creates a little opening. Of course, he's got a lot of help in behind him, so he's not too worried about that.
And there is Flozell Adams going back to the locker room. 2nd down and 7. Rice runs into a lot of traffic and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Tackled there by Farrier as we tick down under 9 minutes. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Boy, James Farrier, for an older guy, makes about as many plays as you'll see. He's got to be 34, 35 years old, something like that.
Yep.
And you put on the tape and you don't see it. Most guys that age, you see it. With James Farrier, he can still run, and he catches plays from the backside just like he did there.
14th year in the league. But his college football at Virginia. 3rd down and 6. Blitz. And then Flacco has that one tipped by Kiesel. And that time you had Timmons racing in to put the heat on.
You sure did. And Ben Grubbs just saved Joe Flacco. I mean, with the last second, watch him right here. Timmons going to come around, and Grubbs sees it right at the last second, gets just enough of him to knock him off. Game of inches sometimes down the field. But Kiesel making a play that they were hoping he'd make, knocking down a few balls too.
Took the punt. Randall L. back. Calls for the fair catch at the 12-yard line. 8:14 remaining in the 4th quarter. Baltimore by 4. Aerial coverage from Baltimore being brought to you by the film The Fighter. Inner Harbor, Baltimore. 8:14 to go. 4th quarter. Hines Ward has only caught one pass tonight and been targeted but twice. From the 13, they begin this drive with a pass to the right side. That's caught by Wallace. He gets tackled at the 20. Gain of 7.
Well, Flozell Adams basically was rolled up on by Haloti Ngata, and it was one of those plays that he just beat Marquise Pouncey so cleanly that he was able to go back door and get the play, and it ended up costing him their starting tackle.
2nd and short from the 20-yard line. Rushing 4. Then able to pull it down again. Finds Wallace. Escapes. Out past the 40 to the 42-yard line. Broke away from a Josh Wilson tackle for a first down.
Tell you, watch the way Mike Wallace accelerates after this catch. He sees a little opening, and then he does a little Usain Bolt thing here. Ben Roethlisberger, though, is starting to feel it. He's moving better. He's getting back to the pump fakes. He's playing like Ben, and he has usually been pretty darn good in the fourth quarter of games.
Roethlisberger tonight, 20 out of 34 for 238. Mendenhall gets jammed up. Lewis is right there at the line of scrimmage. Give him a gain of 1, second down and 9.
Well, Ray Lewis, he knows all too well that the clock is ticking on his career, and this game is huge. The winner of this game, in all likelihood, is going to end up with either the number 1 or 2 seed and a bye the first week. And if it's the Ravens, they are in great position to make a Super Bowl run.
Second down and 8. Roethlisberger feeling it, stepping up, and tackled at the 44-yard line. That's Corey Redding forcing the issue and getting credit for the sack, a 1-yard sack.
Unbelievable. The receivers ran into each other. You got Hines Ward going to come across the field, and he's going to run right into David Johnson, the tight end. They were trying to pick him off, and they ran into each other. And then Ben had nowhere to go with the ball.
And Johnson in there in this circumstance because of the concussion sustained by Heath Miller. Third down and 10. Here come the Ravens. It's dumped off on the outside to David Johnson, and he gets taken down at the 50-yard line by Dewan Landry. It'll be 4th down and 4.
Well, that was a little fire zone that the Ravens threw back at Dick LeBeau right there. That looked like a Pittsburgh Steelers blitz on that one. And I tell you, for this young man right here, he better catch this thing. Sean Sweezum has been bobbling these balls, and last time they got really close.
Ed Reed making sure he's got 10 partners out there. He's going to let it bounce at the 11-yard line, and then he's going to pick it up at the 4-yard line and get taken down right there. And there's a flag down. So Sweezum with his 3rd punt of the night. But a marker. Terry McAuley has had a very active night. 9 penalties on Baltimore accepted. 6 against Pittsburgh tonight.
Wow, that's big. That is big. Make the field goal kicker kick it again. Yes, sir.
Flyer went out of bounds on the punt on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
Very big.
Gone out of bounds and stayed out of bounds and took advantage. You know, you can be forced out if you're Keenan Lewis, but you can't do that and just run down the boundary. And that is monstrous. They had them pinned back inside the 4-yard line. Wow.
So Sweezum kicking. Sepulveda with a right leg injury. Chris talking about Sweezum having trouble accepting the snap. And he's going to have to accept another one right here. And now Ladarius Webb goes back to receive this punt instead of Reed,
who had the big return earlier in the game. Let's see. Sweezum is trying to catch these punts in his belly instead of in his hands.
Which he does right there. A little basket catch. Wobbly spinning kick. Fielded at the 16-yard line. And he brings it back to the 27. So a 23-yard differential because of that penalty. Instead of the 4-yard line, they started the 27-yard line with 4:43. Roethlisberger, the bloody nose, which looked like it was broken on the first series, but he hasn't missed a beat. There are Flacco's numbers tonight. That one drive resulting in an Anquan Bolden touchdown, the only touchdown of the game. And, of course, the key injuries starting with Heath Miller with a concussion. Adams also coming out of the game, and here we go for the final 4:43.
Don't forget the Steelers wasted that one timeout earlier.
They only had 10 men on the field on a punt. So they have 2 plus the 2-minute warning. Willis McGahee is the running back as they start from the 28 and they give it to the former Buffalo Bill. And he gets stacked up at the 29-yard line.
One of the best run defenders in the NFL. Right here, Lamar Woodley. Watch this guy. 1 tight end, 2 tight ends. Forget it. And now Joe Flacco is going to have to put this ball in the air. You're not going to be that effective just trying to hand off in this situation against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes, Pittsburgh, of course, would love a 3-and-out to save their timeouts. 2nd and 8. So put it in the air, and the pass is incomplete. And here comes a flag because Brian McFadden was all over Derek Mason.
Couldn't tell, but it looked like McFadden.
Pass interference. Defense, number 20. Automatic first down.
Mason tries to arrow out of this route. It looked like McFadden grabbed him at the tail end. Let's see. Man coverage. Just kind of hooked that arm on the inside. Boy, if he didn't grab him, that's good coverage that got called. Tough night for Brian McFadden.
First down up at the 38-yard line. Rice is back in. And now Flacco's going to take a timeout with the play clock winding down. Heath Miller, who sustained a concussion earlier in the second half, going back to the Pittsburgh locker room. And with Spaeth down tonight again, Pittsburgh down to 1 tight end, down to Johnson. Minus guys along the front. Been a rough night. Rice up to the 43-yard line.
Interesting there, Al, that they went nickel on 1st and 10, basically daring the Baltimore Ravens to run the football. They came out, they took defensive linemen out of the game and said, we're going to stop you with our nickel. Go ahead and run the ball, and they did and picked up 5.
2nd and 5, and of course Flacco will milk the clock as far down as he can. 3:25 and ticking down in the 4th. And he gets knocked down, and the ball is loose, and it's Polamalu. It's picked up by Woodley, and he gets taken down to the 10-yard line. Huge play. Flacco going back, and unless that arm was coming forward, this will stand.
You knew it was going to happen sooner or later. James Harrison hard down inside, and Polamalu just so explosive, so fast. I don't know, Al. I didn't see it. I thought the ball was out. No question.
Yeah, no question about that. You never know until you see the replay on a play like that. But the arm is not coming forward. Polamalu with the play of the game, and the ball is now inside the 10-yard line, so it's going to be 1st down and goal.
Remember, injuries to the tight ends, injuries to the starting tackle, Flozell Adams. Probably 4 passes here.
Mendenhall goes in motion to the outside. Ben.
Oh, my goodness.
And Ben with that sidearm pass because Suggs was all over him.
That is one of the great plays I have seen in a long time. Suggs is going after the ball. He's going for the strip instead of the sack here, trying to knock it out, grabbing everything he can, trying to get the ball. Roethlisberger escapes, flips it out of there, and saves himself about 7 yards on the play. What a play by Roethlisberger. Also grabbed underneath the helmet, a shot to the head, all those things. What a play.
And Ben able to get out of the pocket so he could throw it away.
Wow.
2nd down and goal. And now a timeout is taken.
Charge timeout, Baltimore.
By the
30-second
Ravens.
timeout.
You can say anything you want about Ben Roethlisberger. That guy has sucked it up tonight.
He has.
And played with all the heart you could ever want. And not much help. They have not been able to block Terrell Suggs all night. This is unbelievable. It's as good a play as you'll see.
With the uniform still blood-stained from the bloody nose incurred on the first series of the game, with a shoe that's 1.5 sizes larger than it would normally be because it was built up to protect the foot. Clearly took a shot before the game. And there are the numbers, and especially in the second half. The old Ben.
Suggs is to Ben's left side again.
Second down and goal. And Roethlisberger, that pump fake, and then throws too high. Ward in the back of the end zone. No chance, though. Third down and goal with a tick under 3 minutes to play.
Well, now's when you begin to look to the back of the end zone. And this is when typically a Heath Miller in the back of the end zone would be your top option. He's not there. But if somebody can get to the back line, let Ben scramble a little bit. We've seen him score a bunch of touchdowns to that guy right there, Hines Ward, in the past.
Ravens are coming. Gets it away quickly. Misses back. Redmond breaking tackles. Gets into the end zone. Touchdown Steelers. Isaac Redmond. The backup back. Not even the third down back. That's when they use Mwelde Moore.
Al, let me tell you how good a play that is. Isaac Redmond was in a position he had to make a hot read. They came with the blitz. He breaks it off and scores a touchdown. I bet you he hasn't practiced that twice in his life.
Squeeze him now for the extra point. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, for the first time tonight, have the lead, 13-10.
Two of the more phenomenal plays I've seen this season. Here he is. Hot read coming. You expect it out of a wideout, but you get big Isaac Redmond out there. He breaks the tackle and scores. Simply phenomenal football by great football players, starting with Troy Polamalu and the play he made. Polamalu right here, untouched, didn't go for the sack, went for the sack fumble, and as he has done throughout the course of his career, the game changer. But this one's as good as I've seen this year. The stiff arm, the long arms of Ben Roethlisberger may have just saved their season.
Gets outside the pocket, so it's legal, and then Redmond.
Wow.
Breaking free at the 5-yard line, fighting his way into the end zone.
What a football game. You could play this one 16 times as far as I'm concerned. I'd come to them all.
So Baltimore with one timeout plus a 2-minute warning. David Reed, and what a great tackle that is by Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders. Stopping him before he can get. He's at the 16-yard line. So Reed goes down there, and now Flacco comes out for the first time tonight, trailing in the game. 2:50 to play.
Well, remember, this is exactly how the last one ended. Joe Flacco had to put together a drive at the end. He did. He hit the big touchdown pass to T.J. Houshmandzadeh with about 20 seconds to go. And here you go, Joe. You want to make a name for yourself? Beat the Steelers twice late in the fourth quarter in the same year.
That was a 40-yard drive in Pittsburgh on the first Sunday of October. Pressure on Flacco, and Flacco's going to go down at the 10-yard line. James Farrior bursting through. And Harrison got there to clean up.
That time Ray Rice missed. Here's Farrior. Ray Rice is going to miss right here, and it's a big miss. Farrier's had 3 sacks, I want to say, in the last 4 games. They're bringing pressure outside, got there. Now they bring pressure inside, get there. It's what makes Pittsburgh so dangerous. They can blitz any one of the 4 linebackers anytime.
Second down and 18 from the 10-yard line. And Flacco will throw, and it will be caught just short of the first down. Bolden out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Got position on William Gay and turns a 2nd and 18 into a 3rd and 2.
Well, this time Ray Rice got the job done. Going to come over from the right side. There's Ferrier there, and Rice gets it. Flacco has time to stand there, and Anquan Bolden beats the nickel coverage to give him a chance.
2:10. 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning for Baltimore. Play clock down to 0. Flacco underneath, and it's dropped at the 29-yard line by Houshmandzadeh. So 5 seconds shy of the 2-minute warning. It is 4th down.
What a job that time by James Ferrier. What a battle with Ray Rice he's got going on. They had Ray Rice scattered out of the backfield, meaning no protection issues whatsoever, and it was Ferrier who recognized it and ran with him. Here they're trying to get him on a wheel right down the sideline. It looks like he's going to be open, but Ferrier smells it out and runs right underneath the route to make the play.
And they have to go for it in this situation. 4th and 2 with 1 timeout from the 26-yard line. 4-man rush. Pass caught. Bolden, 34-yard line. 1st down, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning. What a battle.
Wow.
And you knew it was coming. 13-10 Pittsburgh. Now Baltimore has already used 2 timeouts. One because the play clock was running down. The other defensively after Pittsburgh got the turnover 1st and goal. So they just have one with 1:56. Flacco stepping up, throwing into traffic, and that's caught. And what a series for Bolden. That's the reason you pick up a guy like that from the Arizona Cardinals. Polamalu and Clark with a coverage 19-yard gain.
Great pocket presence by Joe Flacco. Stepped up right between the blitz and made a brilliant throw.
A minute and a half. Flacco stepping up again. Slings that one out of bounds. Mason looks for a flag, and there it comes. And again, they work on McFadden.
Pass interference, defense number 20. Automatic 1st down.
Not even sure why he did it, but McFadden on the tail end of this, I guess he just doesn't see the ball. Just going to push Derek Mason out of bounds. And I guarantee you, before it's said and done, Brian McFadden is going to get plenty of action over there, and Tomlin's trying to say uncatchable, but the official was standing right down the sideline that made the call.
Yeah, Mike is 53 yards away from the 39-yard line. Flacco hit as he unleashes one toward the end zone and incomplete, and that's Clark batting it, and Harrison planting Flacco as he got rid of it.
Boy, James Harrison that time with a perfectly legal hit on Joe Flacco just as he threw that ball. The helmet off to the side. That's exactly how you're supposed to do it. Obviously not the dramatic effect. And Brian McFadden thought he had the one that was going to preserve his night tonight. Perfect tackle.
And instead, McFadden is slow in getting up and has to be assisted off the field. So they've been working on him. And of course, Flacco and Cam Cameron calling the plays, duly noting that.
I tell you, we should give some credit to Ryan Clark on that play as well. Not to get too technical, but they were in a quarters coverage, and the post should have been there. Ryan Clark came from the backside of that play and made it. It was a guy that understood the situation.
And you saw Madison come into the game, and he's going to cover the slot man, who is Bolden, on this play. 2nd down and 10. Underneath, that is caught by Rice, and Rice will take the ball to the 35-yard line. So upcoming is a huge 3rd and 5 with a minute. If you don't gain a yard here, do you try to kick a 51 or 52-yard field goal? You have only one timeout. 3rd and 5. And the pass is
Not
trying
that
to
way.
roll out of bounds is Ed Dixon, but he can't. So the ball is in bounds with the clock still ticking at the 32-yard line, and now it is 4th down and 2, and Baltimore will spend its final timeout. So if you're John Harbaugh right now, 4th and 2, if there's such a thing as a prevailing wind in the stadium right now, where the wind swirls as it does in almost every stadium, you're kicking into it.
Well, Cundiff has had a tremendous year this year. 18 of 21 coming in with a long of 49 yards, which is about how long this one would be. But trust me, based on the kickoffs that we've seen tonight, that would take about a 55-yard kick, in my estimation, to get it there. Boy, this is a tough call here for a head coach. And looks like they're going to go for it. Most of those kickers know in pregame warm-up what their range is each way, and apparently for Cundiff, he didn't think he could get it there from here.
Not from 50, so they'll go for it on 4th and 2 with no timeouts. And Flacco trying to keep it alive, and he bounces one to Ed Dixon on the outside, and the Pittsburgh Steelers will take over and run the clock out.
Joe Flacco tried to go to Anquan Bolden on the right. It wasn't there. Bolden got held up on the outside. Ray Rice with a good block, and you can't see whether or not Ferrier got a piece of that or not. Here's the play on the outside. McFadden. Did he hold? Did he grab? Who cares? Doesn't get called. Does this one get tipped? No.
Nope.
It was just Joe Flacco. He was looking right. He was off balance, saw the open receiver, and just short-armed it.
And the Steelers come in here in that Polamalu play. You know, it's so interesting. I said live by the sword, die by the sword. He blitzes early on. You've got that huge completion to Bolden, which helps set up Baltimore's only touchdown of the night. So that works one way. And then, of course, he blitzes and turns in the play of the night, leading to the Pittsburgh touchdown and leading to the Steelers going into undisputed possession of first place in the AFC North.
Cannot give enough credit to Ben Roethlisberger either. Came in, bad foot, blew his nose up in the first few plays, hung in there the entire night. Great performance.
Farrier, big night as well.
What a football game.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, if that's what the playoffs are going to be like, I can't wait.
Well, as I said at the outset, it's a bone-rattling rivalry, and it's one of the best in the league right now. Wendy's post-game report coming right up after the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Baltimore Ravens by a score of 13-10. Troy Polamalu with the sack and the forced fumble, and sets up a 1st and goal, and in they go for the touchdown to win it. Pittsburgh 9-3, Baltimore 8-4, and so it goes on Sunday Night Football.